Hello, guys. Let me just make sure that you guys can hear me. Hello, hello. See. So, can anyone say to me if you guys can hear me? Hello. I think you guys can hear me. Good evening, everyone. Just see here. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna give you 2 or 3 minutes to wait people to arrive. Normally it's myself and it's Stevan who is doing the lives on Tuesdays, but I'm not sure if Stevan will come today because he's quite busy at work. Hey Ney, how you doing, my friend? Hi, Delcio Gomes. Good evening, guys. Hello, hey. Delcio, how you doing, guys? So just I'll give a few minutes here, guys. Kaká, great Kaká. Nice to have her here. My camera, guys, didn't work today, my proper camera, so I'm gonna be using this camera. So don't mind the background messy, okay, please. Um, Let me see here. So, guys, did you see a beautiful day in Dublin? Today was quite nice. Was very warm. I'd say it was maybe the most beautiful day that we have in the entire year so far, I think. So I hope this summer will be nice. At least if you have COVID, if you may have a good summer, it may be good, maybe easier to support it. Okay, let me see here. Our banners. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's. And you guys, did you guys do anything today with this beautiful day outside, so sunny? Has anyone done anything different today, or just stay quiet at home? Okay. That's just 2 minutes more. Then we start. I don't think Steven will come today, but that's fine. Just give 2 more minutes. Okay. Okay, working hard. That's the same here, man. It's the same here, Dacio. I was working all day, but I was able to go on my summer break, on my lunch break, to enjoy the weather outside. You went for a walk, Kaka. Good. Yeah, me too. Actually, I went to do some skipping rope at the park. I enjoyed doing that. Hey, Patrocínio José. How you doing, my friend? Okay, guys. So we're going to allow people to come, but I'd say, if it's okay for you guys, we would like to do our initial prayer. So then, if Stephen comes, good. If he doesn't, we keep going as we stopped in the Gospel according to Spiritism last week, in the part that we stopped. Okay? So, for those who feel comfortable, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes, to take a deep breath. Try to concentrate at the present moment, forgetting all the troubles that we may have outside, giving this 1 hour that we have here for this study this properly importance, trying to learn more about the gospel according to Spiritism, the work of Allan Kardec, the good spirits, and our Master Jesus. So let's try to be present here. Let's try to reflect. So let's wish and ask the good spirits to guide our minds and our hearts in order for us to understand each study here a little bit more about this beautiful book, which has been a great guide for us. Thank God, and so be it. I think Stevan just came. He's gonna come in a second. See, are you coming, Stevan, or can I start? Okay, maybe he's not coming. Okay, guys. So last week, guys, we stopped in the Gospel according to Spiritism, and I let me make sure here we stopped in item 8. Here we were studying actually chapter 3. In my father's houses are many mansions, and here I'm going to summarize a little bit what we spoke last week. So here in this gospel, in this part of the gospel, where we have this passage where Jesus talked to Nicodemus, if I'm not mistaken, where he says that in the Father's house are many mansions. And what was Jesus trying to say with this? According to what we study in Spiritism, he's trying to say that the mansions that Jesus is talking about in his Father's house is the space, is the multiple universes, that multiple galaxies that we have, multiple universe not yet, we are not sure about that yet, we never know, but multiple planets, multiple stars that we have in the space, and that each of these space is populated with some kind of life. But of course, there is Stevan, he is here.
Hey, today's IT issue.
Yes, I had the same IT issue. My camera is not working.
Yeah.
So
I have to connect from my laptop.
okay, Stevan, while you are preparing, I'm just going to keep going where we stopped from last week, okay?
Okay, great. Yeah, sure.
So then he's saying to us here in this part that in the space, all the globes around the universe, they are habitated, but habitated by beings like us? Not really. The Gospel according to Spiritism explain that the stars, the galaxies, they have some kind of life, some kind of spiritual life in some places, only spiritual life. In some places, is life like more or less like Earth, where we have the matter, we mean the physical body, and we have also some knowledge of the spirituality. But there are also places where they are very rudimentary, they are very primitive. They only live in the physical body without knowing or without really grasping the existence of some spirituality. But the spirits also, they explain that even for these rudimentary people, they have some idea of something. But the thing which is very common in these places, in the primitive worlds, is that everything is related to our feelings, to our sensations. So matter reigns there. So all our sensations, such as sexual sensation, the only to be eating, the pleasure of sleeping, the pleasure of doing nothing, being lazy. These kind of pleasures, they are the majority in these kind of words. While in the words that we are living here now on Earth, we have something between, but still the prevalence is the evil. But evil, I'm not saying evil as something that is created by God, by something, but the predominance of the wrong actions by humans, which generate hard problems for them and for the others. What else here they say? Yeah. Here also they explain to us that here on Earth we are living in this stage that we are. It's common for us to be suffering a little bit. Why? Because the stage of Earth is still a world of atonements and expiation, where suffering throughout miseries, it's something quite normal because it's according to the plan. So there is nothing wrong with what we are living. Of course, it's not good, but once you compare it to the spiritual vision or to the universal vision, where planets they pure planets into this kind of stage that we are also. So they understand that this passage that we are having right now, it's something normal, it's expected. So it's nothing really problematic. It's something natural. Okay? Would you like to add anything, Steven, from what we said last week?
No, that's it. What we said, and today is just we will complement what we have said in order to give more ideas. Uh, when we're talking about evolve words or not evolve words, what we mean. But yeah, that is okay. Great summary.
Okay. Okay, here. So, Steven, do you wanna go or can I start here from where we stopped?
No, you can start it. Yeah.
Here, guys, Kardec says in item 8 that that all the words they are there is no inferior or superior word. What he's trying to say that if you compare a planet which is, let's say, is a bit more happy than us, then we can say that this planet is a happy planet because we are comparing to us who are suffering at the moment. But once we compare ourselves into the primitive words, we can say that we are a happy world. Why we are a happy world? Because in the primitive stage, in the caves, they don't have mobile phone to enjoy, guys. They don't have Netflix. They don't have this facility of the internet that we have here. They don't have Big Mac, guys. The Big Mac which they have is a big cow or big I don't know what's the name, a buffalo where they have to kill to eat. So in the primitive stages, they once they see us, they think, oh, these people they are happy, but we don't consider ourselves happy. But once we see people who live in other space, in other planets, we can even talk here about Jupiter that is talking the Spirits magazine, also in the Genesis, or in other places such as um, Alpha Centauri, or once you think about what's the name of the star? I forgot the name of the star, guys. Sorry, but once you think about more happy words than we have here on, than the one that we live in here. So Kardec explained to us that everything is relative. Is relative. So here we have to understand that we are in the process of improving. So we are passing through that. But the thing is, this passage is a bit painful. This passage that we are having right now, changing from atonement and expiation to regeneration, to regeneration world, is quite painful. Why? Because it's the time which everything that we have comes, everything not good in general, okay? Everything that we have, which is really inside of ourselves, it starts to give, we start to see it more. Why? People, they use their mobile phone, they say whatever they want to say in the Twitter. They go there and they really uh, explore their real thoughts about certain aspects. That's why we see a lot of racism nowadays. We see a lot of people seeing things that we normally we would condemn. So Kardec explains to us that something natural at this stage that we are changing. So the pain is going to be huge. And he compares, for example, once we are sick, for us to get the injection, once you are in the hospital, or for us to be, doing some surgical procedure, if we didn't have anesthesia like we have nowadays, it would be very painful. Imagine someone cutting your leg 200 years ago. Now we have anesthesia. So Kardec explains to us that this process is like someone who is sick to get better. It's very painful. That's why we think that we are not really living a good life, or that everything is wrong, or God doesn't like us. Okay. Anything, Steven, you want to add?
No, we need just to leave it clear that when Wanderley says happy words, not mean like everything is happy. And we will give you some idea. Kardec brilliantly he was able to put in a certain of classification, and the Spirit said, okay, this is just for your purpose of understanding. Let's leave
True.
this very clear. It is not something, oh, you change from here to here. No, we are in a type of world of trial and atonement. What is this? It is when the bad habits, the bad behavior prevail against the good deeds, let's say this, okay? And the bad acts, prevail because people here do not bother in order to do the good. For them, oh, it's okay, it's fine. It's not because they are doing good, okay? That's why, we already explained here many times, when the population of the world is like 8 billion people. Really bad people, it's like 1%, 2% at most. And the other 98%, 99%, they are good, so we should be good. No, they prefer doing nothing. Okay? So when we go to a happy world, like Wanderley said, is in a world when more people get out of this comfort zone and starting doing good. So the good prevail against all the bad things some people are doing. So, and then until we reach a kind of world, a kind of degree where it's 100% good all the time. It's like we also here gave a main example like this. An example like this is they do good like we are breathing today, like how many blinks we did today. That's how they're gonna do good. It's part of them. They're not just doing good. Oh, I will do good here because I want to reincarnate in a better world. I will do good here because if I don't do it, I will go to umbral. So, and that's what I want to leave very, very clear. And it's not what you're doing good or not doing good will define if you will suffer or not. Suffering problem, it's your conscious. So it's you, it's a problem between you and yourself. So you need to deal with that in a very easy and comfortable way. Okay, Andre, so I want just to give an idea what it is a happy world.
Yeah, but what Stevan here says is correct. But we have here, as Stevan said, these categories that we have: primitive words, words of test and atonement, regenerating words, blessed words, celestial or divine words. This selection, this division was made by Kardec from what he understood from the spirits. It wasn't the spirits who said, Kardec, this is a celestial word, this is a regenerating word. No, Kardec, he said, okay, he's saying to me, because he takes in, I think in heaven and hell, he starts to kind of organize the spirits. Okay, this spirit passed away, he's suffering this. Okay, but he's suffering this kind of suffer here. This one who passed away, he's not suffering. Why is he not suffering? So Kardec starts to understand, studying the spirits who are giving communications to him, that's some spirits, they used to go to different places than the others. So once we pass away, there is not only heaven and hell, as some people they believe. There are different types of words where the soul will attune it according to its vibration. That's what Kardec understood. So Kardec understood that, and then he created this division. But here, once we go back to item 9, the spirits, they say to us, in words that have reached the superior level of material, the superior words, basically, there, everything related to moral and material is much more perfect than what we have here. It's much more defined, and it's much more subtle than what we have. But it's still, even these kind of happy words, everywhere, the form of these spirits, it's a human form. That's something which is quite interesting. But Kardec explains to us, I think he says also in that communication about the Jupiter in the Spirits magazine, that the beings in these pure celestial worlds, they are like, they have the human shape, form, but they are taller. They do not have ears. They do not have nose anymore. They do not have mouth anymore, because everything which they do, they speak throughout their thoughts. But the human shape still, but it is slimmer and taller. And this is spirits. They do not walk anymore. They kind of fly a little on the roads or on the places where they are. So this Kardec is talking about the pure words where happiness prevail. But here he says here, ta-da-da. So he's saying to us that matter only we feel matter because we need to reincarnate in order to um, go through our tests and atonements and our expiations. But in these words, they don't have to expiate anymore. There is still death, but death there, as it says here in the text, you do not feel the pain that we have. So if I have a son in that kind of pure words, if he passes away, he explains that the spirits are happy because he knows that that spirit will progress and will keep, only growing in the progression of the spirits. So there is no pain once a spirit dies because they know that the spirit does not die. The, the spirit keeps going. And he says also that here, what is it? I don't know if you guys remember in that traditional Catholic paintings where we have the aureola of the saints. Do you remember that, Stevan? When we have this. And here
Aureola.
it says,
Aureola.
aureola, yeah. So here it says here that with inspiration from the spiritual world, the greatest artists, once they were like in their sleeps, once they were in their dreams, or once they have their visions, because perhaps a lot of them they were mediums, they start to see that these high evolved spirits in pure places, they have in their head here, they have some kind of light. Why do they have this kind of light around their head? Because here it's where the intelligence is. So it's like a kind of an explosion of light that's surrounding that we have the areola. So once that painters they wake up and they start to think about the sense, because of their dreams they start to paint and add that areola. But Kardec explains to us, the spirit explains to us, especially in the spirits magazine, that this is because these evolved spirits, they have this, all the energy is surrounding here because of their intelligence. It's quite interesting to think that why people they start to add the areolas in the drawings. And also he explains to us that life there is much more longer than Earth. So maybe he doesn't give a number here, but we can say that probably a spirit there lives 250, 300 years. Guys, let's just remember one thing: we are not talking about Earth here. If you take Earth measures to say how it's impossible to someone to live 200 or 300 years, on our standards, yes, yet in the future, we don't know. So what Kardec is bringing here is the knowledge of the spirits. So in these places, the same laws that we have there, relation to gravity, how fast their planet surrounds their star, because maybe it's not the sun, could be another star, is different than our rules that we have here and our laws. Okay, Kardec explains quite clear, because once we start to compare everything with Earth, then for us everything is impossible. Because here, until I don't know 100 years ago, we couldn't do anything without using using the hammer. Now we have a 5G internet, which is the future.
Yeah.
So remember this: Kardec is using a different knowledge, okay, which science now is backing us up. Anything,
Well,
Stevan? Yeah.
and it's good
Sorry.
to emphasize that uh, the higher you are evolving, the less material attached you will be.
Oh yeah.
Okay, okay, that's the point. Material is not like something like money. Okay, material we can say, okay, in order to survive, to keep the body working, we need to eat. No, we need to drink water. We need to exercise. We need to do a lot of things. Also we need to work in order to generate all these survival skills. Let's say let's use this thing of life. Without working, you cannot buy food, and without food, you cannot survive. So let's use this kind of cycle here. But as much as you are getting evolved, less it will be your need of these material things. So the condition of the earth is peculiar to the earth. The condition from, I don't know, Mars is peculiar to Mars. The condition from Jupiter, like Wanderley said, is peculiar to Jupiter. Okay? So, but this is according to the degree we are. How you are attached, how you are, how you're doing the good. You're doing good just because you want to, oh, I want to be nice. I want to I'm doing good here because, I don't know, God is seeing me, you know, like how many things, like many reasons. And also, of course, everybody have a curiosity to find out. Hey, that is all these billions, zillions, I don't know how many planets out of the world, and we are the only luck stars, you know, here. Well, we are maybe we are the only one luck stars with our conditions. You know what I mean? That's why I want you to leave it clear here. Okay? And again, the level of evolvement of the population who inhabit that world means everything. Means everything. Because we can have here some people from different worlds having a kind of, let's say, mission here on Earth in order to, like the most well-known case we have here is like Mozart. You know, his mission here was to bring the music to elevate the vibration of the population at that time, you know. So, and he came and he did this through using music. So that's what we are saying here. And the same time, like sometimes perhaps we can reincarnate in a different world, just to say to them, hey guys, this is the path, this is the way you have to do. Okay, so we cannot live the law of society. It is God's law. It's unchangeable. Everybody, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter in which world you are, everybody needs each other. It's a connection. Where is a connection where people from more evolved worlds, they come here to Earth in order to say to us, hey, let's move forward to this direction. The same thing. Many people who are great here, who are well, let's say, not classified, well deserved, they may have a mission to reincarnate in a lower world in order to show to them throughout examples, throughout knowledge, okay, guys, you are doing great, but take left turn instead of being here deciding in which way you want to go. So again, this is all connected. This is not because, oh, I'm in that world, not in this world. Oh, I'm not evolving. No, it's not this. What we are saying here, we need each other. There is no right or wrong. There is no more intelligent or less intelligent. There is no more charitable and lower charitable. That is more goodness than less goodness. What will define our degree of involvement is the amount of goodness without any attachment to it. The attachment, I say, oh, I'm doing good because I want to be in a nice position with God. No, you need to do good because this should be from you. You know, this is what will define our degree of involvement. So I'm glad you were able to be here with us, Danny. Well done. Thank you.
Hey, Danny.
Thank you. Yeah, I have to drop in 15 minutes because I have a meeting, but I know I'm leaving Wanderley in good hands here. Leave your questions to ask in 15 minutes, okay?
But guys, it's nice from what Stevan said, which makes make all the sense. That even confirms in item 10 of the book when it says that in these places where people they are happy, there is no hate. That all the authorities they receive the proper respect. Of course, like we have in Brazil, you know, all the authorities there everyone respects. Come on, no one making any faces, Stevan. Come on, guys, I'm joking. Or everywhere. So he's saying to us that all the authorities they receive the proper respect. Everyone respects each other because there the authority is not because I have a higher patent than the other. It's by their moral. So what happens? The spirit comes to see each other. It's not like we have in some countries that someone says to you, "Do you know who are you talking to? Do you know who is my father? Come on, do you know that?" People they said quite a lot that in Brazil, unfortunately, no. But here, in these happy words, the spirit explains to us that no, the spirit itself it sees in their perispirit who you are, which grade of elevation you have, because we cannot. Let's say once we are talking about happy words here, the spirit they say to us, such as Jupiter, for example, who, for those who doesn't know, Jupiter is more or less 400 times bigger than Earth. So you can put 400 planets inside of Jupiter. Okay, guys? So there, not all the spirits are in the same level. They are, yes, in a kind of a happy level, but they're not all pure spirits. But what it's really common to them? Hate doesn't exist. As Stevan said, always the strong helps the weak. So there, people they are helping each other. They are not fighting each other. They are not saying, "Okay, I'm in Jupiter here, so happy days for me. I don't care anymore. I don't care about Earth." No, they explain to us here in the Gospel according to Spiritism that these spirits they are supporting, you know, throughout work, like Stevan said about Jupiter with related to music, but many other spirits from Jupiter or from other planets came to Earth for sure. Maybe we don't know their names. But so many spirits they have come here to Earth to teach us something new. And these spirits in these high evolved planets, they are not there they're just enjoying their life, but there is no such thing in the universe. As we have in the gospel, Jesus said that my father works every day, so I do. No, as I do. So Jesus said that even God does not stop working. So we cannot presume that once we are in the happy world, we're going to be stopping working. Maybe we're not going to be using our muscles to work anymore, but we're going to be using our brain to do good things, and maybe to not to the spirits that we have around us, because they are all pure spirits, but to the other ones who in different planets they live. And here, there is here. Here, Kardec explains the spirits. They say to us that we still need evil in order to us to know goodness. That's why we still need darkness in order to appreciate light. We still have to be hungry instead to appreciate food, a meal that we have, because the world that we live has this bipolarity. So we are dual worlds, you know. We have good or evil. We cannot appreciate the in betweens between good and evil. The spirits they explain to us. That's why, and here it makes you just start. But at the same time, the spirits, they make very clear on item 12. Do not think that God made Jupiter or any other planets, that the spirits, they talk here in this chapter, and these pure planets, because God wanted, and God doesn't like Stevan of Wanderley. I'm going to put these two guys on earth for them to suffer. No. God explains
Let's
quite
put these
simply.
guys there. Oh, no, they're not
Yeah,
doing
let's,
anything. They talk too
yeah,
much. You know?
that's it. No, the gospel according to Spiritism explain to us that these happy words, they are these spirits who are living there, they pass through what we passed. So they did good, they kept choosing properly, they kept being nice with each other. That's why they are progressing. So the spirits explain to us that each one of us, we're gonna have to pass through the same phases which these spirits they pass sooner or later. That will depend on us. Something that we talk a lot here, which is our free will. Depending how we exercise our free will, we're gonna go faster. Depending how we exercise, we're gonna take a bit longer. It's up to us in the end of the day. Stevan always say this, it's up to us. But what we cannot think is that God created these words for these spirits, only for them. No, these spirits are there because they have their merits. And they're gonna have that merits there, you know? So here, and after that, Kardec goes and item 13 and so on. He starts to explain a little bit about some characteristics of each type of word. Again, this division of words is done by Kardec, it's not done by the spirits. The spirits, they say to Kardec, use each way that you guys want, use each words that you want. As long as you understand that there are certain divisions, it's okay for us. We don't care. Anything, Steven, from here?
No, so everything's right.
Yeah.
We go to the same prison. That's a good thing.
Yep.
No, that's why I agree with you. I don't want to be there alone.
And here, guys, he says in the item 13 that what do like we know what means words of attest and atonements. As it says here, is the words that we have to expiate and to improve ourselves. So we can say, as we were saying in the beginning, that's more or less like a school, it's more or less like a prison, it's more or less like a, a poor village, you know. So that's the style of word that we are living at the moment. And he keeps explaining to us. And once he say about regenerating words, a lot of the spiritists, they make this huge mistake. They think, oh, regenerating words is only like a happiness. There is no more evil. And no. Here, in the item 16 of the Gospel according to Spiritism, they explain to us that evil is still existing in regenerating words, okay? But it's more balanced now with
That's why I
goodness.
said at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, you said in the beginning. So we are not like, oh, regenerating word is a happy word. No, it's far from being a happy word. Far from being a happy word. But what's a huge characteristic of the regenerating word? It's there where the spirits, they take some rest. Imagine like this, you are walking in the desert so many days, the sun is really hot, you don't have much water, you know, you are there, and then you see a tree, and then you are able to stop under that tree, enjoying that nice fresh shadow, that nice breeze in the afternoon, and with a glass of water. So you are kind of regenerating yourself for a while to keep going through your journey. That's a regenerating word. Is a word where the spirits, they have a chance to get some rest to keep going and to keep living for many more centuries, because we don't know how long each word exists. Uh, Steve, do you want to say, or can I keep going here
No,
in the
read that,
progression of the words?
passage.
Okay, so here in the item 19, progression of the words, the spirits, they say to us that this progression of the words is something natural. As we said, Jupiter may be in a better state, it may be in a better stage than us, but Jupiter in the past was like Earth. We are not saying that Jupiter had trees like we had here on Earth. We are not saying that Jupiter had oceans like we had on Earth. We are not saying that Jupiter had animals like on Earth, the same fruits, because science nowadays proved that Jupiter is a massive gas planet. It doesn't have a solid. I mean, there is a small part which is solid, but the majority of Jupiter is a gas planet. So if you take, let's say, your spacecraft and goes through Jupiter, you're gonna do like this, straight. There is no place to stop, more or less. But what I'm trying to say that the spirits, forget about the planet, okay, about the planet itself, but the spirits who are there, they progressed, and the spirits explain here to us that that's a natural progression, so that each spirit created by God will progress. And that's why we should be happy in the stage that we are. Because people, they come to me and say, Wanderley, you see how the world is bad now? We have people killing each other. We have people, saying a lot of bad things in the internet, or we have, I don't know, people killing, blah, blah, blah. Guys, we live in the best time of our existence ever. The best time.
Yeah.
And if someone says to me, no, I don't agree, I'm going to say to them, oh, really? Why don't you go 300 years ago? Once you were there fighting, you were a soldier, and then by any chance, you got stabbed by a knife, or you got, I don't know, you got sick, and then a doctor said, oh, Wanderley, you are sick. Actually, I'm going to have to cut your leg. Otherwise, you're going to die. Imagine someone cutting your leg without anything of medicine, without having anesthesia. Or imagine, guys, imagine the guys who discovered South America. I mean, not discovered South America, was there all the time, but imagine Cristobal Columbus. Imagine all these huge sailors, that we have in history. Guys, they were sailing, throughout the New World without knowing anything. They only to have to see the stars. Now we can go to the middle of the ocean and have this mobile phone here to guide us. Imagine 300 years ago, guys, you have no food. If you were in a cold Russia, you couldn't go to supermarket and buy some packet of nuggets. You have to go and kill an animal to eat.
Nuggets.
Now, yeah, and now someone says to me, we love the world that we live in here is bad. No, guys, it's not bad. It's the best. But of course, because of these facilities are so easy to us, and humankind is still not used to these facilities, what's the natural process of humanity? To abuse these facilities. First, we abuse. It's like chocolate. You give a chocolate cake to Wanderley once Wanderley was 5 years old. I would take the entire chocolate cake and do like this in my face, and eat all the cake. I would eat everything, guys, in one go, easy. And I think everyone here is the same. Easy, Stevan. I used to eat one entire chocolate cake, Stevan. Big chocolate cake on my own when I was small. When I remember when I was 12 years old, I used to eat 15 breads with mortadella. 15, guys. 15.
My gosh.
Yes. What I'm trying to say, guys, is like this. We all abuse in the beginning because we don't know how to enjoy, we don't know how to use. And the stage that we are now in society is like this. We are abusing all these facilities. Once we learn how to use the web is going to be a really good thing for us, because we can have all the books in the world now in this mobile.
Yeah.
We don't need the huge libraries anymore.
Wanderley,
what do you think, Steven?
I have to drop off because I have a meeting right now. So thank you, guys. Now you can ask
See you, Steven.
everything to Wanderley. He's ready to answer all the questions. Okay.
Okay, I talk a lot, guys. Poor you guys.
Thank you, Wanderley. Thank you, guys.
Steven. Take care, man. Talk to you later.
Be here for a while. Apologies, but I have to go. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so that's what the spirits, they say to us, that nothing in the universe is stationary. It means nothing stayed there, stuck and stopped forever. And this chapter 3 of the Gospel according to Spiritism, for me, it's one of the most beautiful chapters of this book, which, as you can see, I have a lot of notes here because I try to understand, try to bring what Jesus said 2,000 years ago to the days that we have today. Trying to bring all what he said to our science and technology that we have nowadays. And once Jesus said that my father's house are many mansions, for me that was something that was quite intrigued. But now using the knowledge that we have with science and spiritism, and I'm gonna go the opposite. This knowledge that we have with science, no, with spiritism and science, because a lot of things that the spirits they said to us in the 1850s when the spirits book was created, science only started to discover in the recently days. In the gospel, in the book Genesis, and in the Spirits magazine, Kardec talk about the antimatter. Kardec talked about the neutrine, not with this name, with a small particle which is much smaller than the atom that we have. And a lot of this knowledge, science, when it only went to discover several years later. And here, guys, that's why I think for me that's a beautiful book that everyone should study, because the parables of Jesus, they bring to us not only the time that he lived, but if we really open our hearts, open our minds, we're going to see that so many things that he said to us are valid for today, and we still didn't grasp, And that's why I really recommend everyone to read this chapter 3. In my father's house are many mansions, and you guys going to enjoy. But it's interesting that this part here is the part which Kardec all the time in the Spirits magazine talks about Jupiter. So he explains that everything that we said, that there the spirits they kind of walk away like we have in the movies, the angels who fly. Where did these artists they took this idea? Where did these people who wrote the old books they said, oh, angels they don't walk, they fly? Where? Maybe throughout dreams, throughout inspiration, once they perhaps went to visit the superior worlds, once they wake up, they said, oh, there was a being, I'm gonna call this being angel, but he didn't walk like we do, he flied. His body was much nicer, he was not skinny like weak, but well proportioned. So all this knowledge which we have, especially in art, according to André Luiz and according to Emmanuel So, a lot of this knowledge we take once we sleep. So once we sleep, we go there, we visit these places, and then we artists or musicians, we started to uh, bringing our piece of work with these things that we saw there. So that's why I think this chapter is quite amazing. But if you guys have any questions or comments about the chapter, guys, or if you guys, want to make any comment, guys, please feel free right here for us. And we're going to try to reply, But the thing that we have to always bear in mind once we are talking about life outside of Earth, that, as we said, things which we know here does not apply there. We cannot presume that everything is, as we call, extraterrestrial beings. Why are we so arrogant to call the others extraterrestrial? Like if we were better than them and they are the external. Maybe for them we are the external. Kardec explains to us that a lot of times these beings, when they look upon us, they start to think, oh God, they still doing this. They still killing one another. They still fighting for land. They still fighting for religion. They still fighting for, I don't know, for money. And the spirits in the gospel according to Spiritism, they say to us in the Genesis also that the greatest knowledge of humanity will be religiosity. Religiosity is not religion, so it's not dogmas, but religiosity in a way that we will understand that there is the spiritual life, that there is these beings. who are helping and supporting us. There is a being that we call God. But again, this God, there is no relation with religion. You know, we, with religion, we all imposed ideas, dogmas to the others. And they say to us that in these beautiful places, there is no such thing. But all the beings there, they have some kind of level of religiosity because they know that there is this force that we call God. I don't know how they call, but I guess they call God also, you know, Deus, you know, God. So here, what I'm trying to say that we shouldn't apply our truths and our knowledge to those beings, to those high evolved places. And guys, if you think that I'm saying something here which is quite naive, for some even stupid, that thinking that life only happens here on Earth, guys, think like this. In our galaxy, the Milky Way, we have over 200 billions. I'm not saying millions, I'm not saying thousands, I'm saying billions with B, billions of stars. Each stars, they may have maybe 100 or 200 millions of planets. Then I ask you guys one quick question. What you guys think? Is there only life here on Earth? Intelligent life on Earth? So God's then all this huge space. I'm talking about only about the Milky Way. If you take other galaxies, guys, with over 200 billions of galaxies, guys, once you think that each galaxy has around 200 billions of stars, and we are talking about 100, 200, 300 billions of galaxies, guys, imagine the number of planets that we have. So if you only think that life only occurs here, I'm not sure who is being naive here, guys. With all respect to each one, anyone can believe in anything, but not that's not spiritism saying. Is science saying is that it's impossible. It's not because we don't know that it doesn't exist. The probability is really, 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 really small. To life only to occurs here. The problem that we have this is to think that life must be like us. That in this planet there must be a Wanderley, we must have a car, we must have an iPhone, we must have a computer. No, life is different and much more intelligent than what we have here. Also, as we said in the beginning, there are certain planets where life is more inferior than us. Maybe there are some planets in our galaxy which there is still, heating stones to try to make fire. There is still, with huge hair everywhere in their body. We don't know. But let's not reuse our knowledge for the space. Our knowledge is for Earth. Maybe in the future we're going to be learning more and more about the space. But until now, we are just here learning and hoping that one day we're going to grasp 1% of everything, you know? So I'd say, guys, that's it for today. We don't have much to say. Elsa is in gratitude here. Thank you, Elsa. We are very thankful that you are here, and everyone here, guys. Thank you for being with us here tonight. We are really happy that we are being able to do this every Tuesday and every Thursday. For those who doesn't know, guys, we have our meetings which are happening at the moment via internet, because we still cannot open our spiritual center in Dublin, but I believe that's everywhere in Europe at least. So there is no meetings yet. So with us, we are doing that live every Tuesday at 7:15, every Thursday 7:15, and every Sunday 11:15. And for those who wants to study a little bit more, not only hear my voice, we have our studies here on Wednesday, which they have two wonderful ladies, Tanya Moore and Neide Mota. They are running the studies for over a year now. But this study, guys, is done via Zoom. So you guys have to send an email to us at spiritismisland@gmail.com, and they will send you, they will provide you a link. And this meeting is every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So please send to us an email at least a few hours before, in order to be able to provide you the link of the Zoom. And here we have Elsa, a big spiritual hug from the UK, a big hug also from Dublin, Elsa. We love you guys. The guys from the UK, they have been quite helpful. They have been quite helpful and friendly with us for several years, helping us quite a lot. Elsa, and everyone there. Thank you guys, everyone. We have our friend here from America, Don. Hey, God, Don, how you doing, man? Nice to have you here. We have Danny, our great friend. Thank you, Danny. It's nice to have you here, and everyone, of course, Kaká, May, Ildecio, sorry, Delcio, Patrocínio, Fabio. It's always nice to have you guys here. And here, it's a blessing. Thanks. It's a blessing for me also, Elsa. We should maintain our mind focused in the prayer and light. Very, very true. And the good work. And of course, guys, one thing that we have to remember that every Thursday or so, after our speech, Elsa, Stevan, Stevan Bertozzo was with us a few minutes ago. Elsa Ross from the UK. Charles Kemp from the French spiritual movement. Nadia from the Brazilian, but she's in the spiritual movement in Lithuania. They are doing a wonderful and very scientific, nice talk every Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, at 9:15 or at 9 o'clock. No. Oh, guys, what's the time, Elsa? Please remember me. I forgot. Yes, and actually here, Elsa gave to us Thursday, 2 lives, Spiritual Light, Ireland, Lithuania, France, and the UK. Is by the French Spirit Federation is running this. So we have plenty of option, guys. Yes, Elsa just said here to us, it's 9 o'clock here, UK and Ireland time. So you guys can go there and enjoy. They have a different approach to talk about Spiritism, but always following the work of Kardec, the works of the good spirits. Because if we try to invent too much, we may give too much emphasis to our ego and start to giving our ideas. That's why we always, once we study here, sometimes myself, I raise my voice a little bit, Stevan does less, Stevan carries in his own way, made in the same, in a different way, but we are always based upon the works of Kardec. And of course, we have good works of Chico Xavier, Divaldo Franco, and many other ones. Thank God we have these external workers. And Elsa says here, the effectiveness of prayer will be the topic of this Thursday meeting at 9 p.m. Thanks, Elsa, for letting us know. But guys, I'd say that's it. Let me see if I have any more thing here to say. Yes, guys, for anyone who is not feeling quite well, mentally speaking, you guys can go to mentalhealthireland.ie, and there you guys can find some information about how to deal with COVID-19 at the moment. They are not spiritists. They have no relation with us, but they're a website here in Ireland who supports and help people to go through mental difficulties. Okay, and guys, let's not be shy. Let's not think that we have to be the Superman or the Supergirl. We have no problems, or like we used to say in the past, that's for crazy people. No, guys, we all sometimes have some kind of mental difficulty. I had myself several times in life. Once we start to, I wouldn't say go crazy, but once you start to doubt too much about yourself, sometimes this kind of talk with a psychologist may be quite helpful. At least I believe, that can be quite good. And that's it, guys. So we're gonna be doing our final prayer. Let me just go here. So again, guys, thank you for everyone who is being with us tonight. So see you guys next Thursday. So in order for us to finish, let's close with our final prayer. So for those who feel comfortable, Again, I'd like to ask you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Would like to thank for everything that we have, all the difficulties, all the blessings that we have, all the material troubles, but also every material thing that we possess. Possess only temporarily, because we do not possess anything of this world. We only possess our good actions, the good inside of our hearts, and the love that we have for one another. Let's not forget that this life will perish someday, for some sooner, for the others later. But we all gonna have to go through this phase that we call death. The name doesn't really matter, but we're gonna have to go through that. And let's be thankful for the Spiritism teachings which enlighten us in order to understand better this passage, this stage that we are at the moment. Remembering that all the bad things and the good things only happen to us so that we can learn something, that God does not give to us any harm, but everything which happens to us is in order for us to learn something, to improve ourselves, to learn how to be nice to one another, to create empathy to one another. May the good spirits keep supporting us during our lives. May the good spirits keep supporting those ones who are working against COVID in the hospitals, on the streets. Try to help those ones who are in a difficult situation. May the good spirits who are looking after earth with our Master Jesus, keeping the psychosphere of earth in a well-balanced equilibrium. But in order to this balance to happen, we may have to do our part also, because we are the workers of God. Thank God for the opportunity to be able to work, and so be it. Okay, guys, thank you very much. See you next Thursday. Bye, guys. Good night.